Hi everybody, thanks for joining Create with Dee. I'm Dee Slater, an independent Stampin' demonstrator. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a recording. I won't be live. Normally I'm live Thursday at noon Eastern, but my internet has been intermittent and I've been having to call them every day, rebooting or resetting my internet. So I thought just to play it safe so our class wouldn't time out or, what I want to say, get dropped during our live. I thought best to record it this week until I get all of the bugs worked out with my internet provider. I have a great fun fold today. I love finding new folds that I haven't personally tried before. There's so many out there, and when I find something new, I kind of rearrange my schedule of what I want to show you guys, so to jump right in because I get excited and I can't wait to share. I got one of these card designs at a swap that I participated in with other of my fellow demonstrators. I'll show you all the features of that here in just a little bit. We are going to be using the online exclusive line Elegant Pine Cones. It's there's so many features about this suite of products, whether you want just the designer paper, or maybe you want to add a different twist on a snowflake bundle or a pine and woodsy. I think you're really gonna find some of the elements in this suite of products really fun and interesting to play with, and so might be something that you want to consider. All right, well, I will get started on this project, and when you see me next, it'll be my talking hands. This was the card that I received from a card swap. Us demonstrators get together and we swap designs to give each other ideas and for samples. So this is how it looks when you get it in the mail. But when you open it up, you've got this really interesting fun fold, but it doesn't look like much when it's just here, but it's such a surprise when you open it up. And I loved the variation of this. And like I said, I had to hurry up and make my version of her beautiful card. And that design was by Mandy Dorley. So Amanda, thank you so much for sharing your creativity with us. Okay, so I am using, as I mentioned, the Elegant Pine Snowflakes suite. This is found under the online exclusives. And as always, the pictures just don't do it justice on it. But this suite, you get the designer paper if you want a one number to order it all. You get the Elegant Pine Snowflake designer paper, the Delicate Pine bundle, the faceted snowflakes. I'll show how cute those are. And I'm kind of in love with this shaded spruce and gold ribbon. In love with all of it. So here's the paper. What I love about the Elegant Pine paper is that it's not like, yes, it's holiday, but it goes all through our winter months. So, we've got pine snowflakes. Look at this paper. Look how gorgeous. I just love it. I love the tones, so it's something that you can definitely use beyond just making your holiday cards. I think it's great winter birthday cards, etc. Okay, so that's a little peek of the paper there. And let's go ahead and we'll dive right into the measurements. I've got my sunshine coming into my studio this morning here. All right, so I was going to show you the measurements here on the trimmer. But I've got it pre-scored for us. So I started out with a piece of shaded spruce cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, and 6 3/8. And just a reminder, I've already got it pre-scored, but when you go to your trimmer, just as a reminder, all of these little dashes make up a 1/16. So I don't want to overthink this, but the 2 1/8 mark is the 2 and then count 2 hash marks. So you would put that there, score, go over to your 4 1/4, score, and then 6 3/8. And on your trimmer, it's a little difficult. So here's what I would recommend. Flip your paper around and just come in and do 2 1/8, 2, 1, 2 lines, and score again. So if you think about it, it's folding it in half and then just folding it back. So if you quite honestly, if you don't want to mess with scoring, you can do that. You can just fold it in half and then take one side and fold it back towards the fold, flip it over, and do the same. So when you open it up and look at it, we have a W. So I hope that makes sense. So in other words, you can score it in half, 4 1/4, and then 2 1/8 from either end. And then we're going to put it together like this W. Our other measurements are we're going to need 2 pieces of our Elegant Pine Snowflake designer paper, and these two are 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. So we need 2 of those. And then if you want to, you can decorate the 2 panels on the inside. And I loved how Amanda did that. She used a, and I don't even know what this one's called, but it's like the holly embossing folder that's currently available by Stampin' Up. I thought that the birch 3D embossing folder, because I was thinking woodsy and the pine, and I know it's not a pine, what do I want to say? It's not a pine bark, but it's like it's a tree bark, so I like that. So 2 panels we're going to put inside, same tone on tone. I just loved hers. I just wanted to be as close to replicating it as I could, but put a little bit of twist on for mine. Same size as the panels, 5 1/4 by 1 7/8, and we need 2 of them. And like I said ahead of time, I did emboss them with the birchwood embossing folder. Okay, so we need those. And then the little card that connects it, this is another piece of cardstock using our shaded spruce, and this is 4 by 6 scored in half at 3. Need 2 white panels, and I don't have those handy, but I'll show you. We need 2 white panels here with our basic white, and these are 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. So the Delicate Pine bundle is what I'm using today. This stamp set has all of these really gorgeous and interesting snowflakes, but the snowflakes are made out of pine cone motifs. It's so clever. And then you get a nice big die set that goes with it that will die cut out the snowflakes and some of the other embellishments. Plus you get pine cones and these really neat pine cones that can go behind it. So lots and lots of easy die cutting that you can do along with your stamped images. So I'm going to go ahead and show you mine here. So I use 3 different colors and 3 different layering sizes of the snowflakes from the Delicate Pines. So I'm going to be using the color palette today of Pecan Pie, Shaded Spruce, and Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to use Mossy Meadow ink for the largest snowflake, and then bring back in our Shaded Spruce color, and then using our Pecan Pie for this. I think it gives it a really woodsy element, and then Warmest Wishes for our sentiment will be in our Pecan Pie as well. All right, so I'm going to do some stamping on some scrap basic white, and we're going to build our pine cone snowflake here first. So I'm using the largest of the pine snowflakes with Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to stamp and die cut. So I'm going to press, sorry for the little jiggle. I need my pad underneath there. Just want you to see, look at that. So good, so good. All right, our smaller one, the medium size one, I'm going to do in our Shaded Spruce. And each of the pine cones kind of have a slightly different flair to it as far as a design, so I think that makes it really interesting. And so I'm going to get 2 of them on here for die cutting. So this will be our center panel, and then Pecan Pie for our top layer. Okay. And then again, there's matching dies for all of those, and I've done that ahead of time. And it looks like this. So cute. I'm going to circle back to this at the end of the video and show you how that you can build these together all on one image. So I'm not going to do anything with those right now, but I've gone ahead and die cut those. So cute, so pretty. And on our two basic white panels, again, these are 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. With the pecan pie, I'm going to stamp Warmest Winter Wishes on the bottom of one of these, down towards the bottom, because I do want to, I'm going to be tying my my shaded spruce ribbon on it. And then on the other side of here, I'm going to stamp this most sweetest little pine cone ever. So I'm using the pine cone image that's from the bundle, or from the stamp set, Delicate Pines. So just to have another little pine cone image, stamp that. And then I'm going to get my shaded spruce. We'll weave that color back in. And look at this sweet little image. The sweetest little pine cone, or little, yeah, it's little pine cones, or at least the, what do I want to say, the branches on it. On my sample one, I just used kind of a two-tone. I didn't re-ink, but I think I'm gonna do full. Oh, look at that cute little thing. Look how you can make cute little tags with that image, or bring that little element in other ways. I love it. Okay, we've got all of our stamping done. Let's put those aside for now, and let's assemble. It actually goes together fairly quickly. Okay, let's put our panels together. So we want the panels all to be opened up, and we're going to have our designer paper on the outer panels. Again, using the Elegant Pine Snowflakes Designer Series paper. I love that they give us these background, so to speak, papers on it, so that you can really let the stamping be the star of the show, but yet you've got coordinating colors and backgrounds that can highlight our stamps. And I loved that Amanda, you know, how she did her color palette. So like I said, I pretty much cased it from start to finish. And this is, I probably got this on the wrong side. So these are our panels, just with tone on tone, so with shaded spruce, 5 1/4 by 1 7/8, same size as our interior. You could go ahead and do a different color if you'd like, and really, you know, like contrast. I just kind of liked the subtleness of the tone on tone that she did with her card. And so that's what we do. We case each other's stuff. So maybe you'll case mine. All right, so here's our 4 by 6. It's going to be like another interacting element here. So we're going to fold it where it actually, this is going to be our front side. So the score line is going to be over on our right. When we do that, and we can go ahead and just glue down our cute little pine cone. This will be where we can put our personal message that we want to do. I like Warmest Winter Wishes on here, because I think that you could then sign it Happy Birthday on the other side, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever little other message that you want with it. Okay, so that's going to go over here. And before we put this on, let's go ahead and we're going to tie our ribbon around that. Faceted snowflakes, snowflakes faceted, however I say it, just know that it's actually called, you know, faceted snowflakes. They're foam. So they're foamy. It's kind of a unique little texture, but what I like about it is it can give the 3D, but then be kind of squishy. So you get, you know, a rhinestone, like a clear, you get the shaded spruce, and you get the cherry cobbler, which can also be red, but they are little snowflakes. They're so cute. So you can pop whichever one that you want on the top there. I personally was just trying to keep it all tonal. You can pop it with some red, you know, or however else that you would like. But I'm going to get under here and just going to get one gem and put it right in the center. Look how beautiful that is. And we can add some more sparkle over here if we want. Might do that a little later. I also wanted to say that I think what would be really cute, if you have the cherry cobbler and pearl berries, you could go ahead and put your 3 berries on the on there too, or you can do what Amanda did, and this is a little berry die that's part of it too that you can introduce. And you can see she put her stars not in the center, but you know, sparkled off to the side. Okay, that's our gorgeous card. That really, it's just like a Z-fold, you know, but it's a Z-fold on a card base, and then just another simple layer there to make a really different stand-up card. All right, so as I mentioned, let's circle back to some other ways of doing this stamping here. Okay, so before I let you go, I want to see how you can build all of these images up just on one image. So let's go ahead and get, you know, so I'm going to use this snowflake to start with. And now now we'll do our center snowflake. So I used shaded spruce for that one. I just want to show you how this looks when you stamp. So you can build it all up on one as well. I'm just going to go right over top of it. And now I'm going to take our next one, which is our pecan pie. And again, just kind of go in between. Got off just a little bit there. But you can see, like, with looking over top. But look how you can get these interesting layers on it. I love it. Let's just play with this again. This time I'm just using the smaller 2. I'm going to do the shaded spruce. And pecan pie. And go in the center here. I think I can get a little better this time. But you know, you can start building some 2D looks too on it. So you can do some really neat background stamping, etc. So you don't always have to die cut. You can just do some really beautiful layering just with the snowflake images. All right, let's go ahead and bring back in the card. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning this new fun fold. Again, I thought it was so interesting that when you get it, it's like this and you think it's just a little mini card, but when you open it up, it's a nice big full card with full panels in the back and just such a nice surprise. All right, everybody. Again, I hope that you enjoyed making it. If you would, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, leave a comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Have a great day, everybody, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.